Well, now that we are well into the month of February, all eyes are on Nintendo, and there is no shortage of Nintendo Direct talk popping up on all corners of the internet. Any news site you go to, any YouTube channel page you go to, chances are you are going to see a ton of dialogue around Nintendo and what they may be planning to reveal at their next big showcase that we know, if we just look at history, most likely will take place in the month of February, although there are some instances where it has happened in March. And in today's video, we have to go over a couple different data points that have now dropped online that could actually very well be signaling to the Direct presentation taking place as soon as next week. And we need to break down and discuss where us Nintendo fans should be setting our expectations for this event to either take place or not, and what games to be revealed there right now. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below. Hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. Now, as I mentioned, guys, today we are once again talking about that topic that won't go away, to be quite honest with you all, until we finally get the announcement from Nintendo, and that is around all of the talk and speculation around Nintendo potentially planning to reveal a Nintendo Direct presentation now being claimed to be in the works and possibly on the table for an event as soon as next week. And I don't blame you if you just want to sit on the sidelines until Nintendo finally does reveal it. I do think that the likelihood of them skipping their first of the year Direct is just about at a zero. Anything is possible with Nintendo, but I definitely think it's safe to expect some kind of Direct presentation sometime soon. The really exciting news piece would be is if it does indeed happen next week. It is already February 2nd at the time of filming this video, so we would not have to wait much longer if these rumors and a couple different data points, as I mentioned, turn out to be true that could be signaling that this thing is around the corner. As you can see, the following article posted up on Nintendo Everything, where it says, rumored Nintendo Direct happening next week, Advance Wars possibly releasing soon. There's a lot of smoke surrounding Nintendo right now with all sorts of rumors, but most prominent speculation concerns the possibility of a Nintendo Direct and launch of Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. As far as the Nintendo Direct is concerned, Giant Bomb's Jeff Grubb believes a new presentation could air during the week of February 6th. He said the following during the last of the Nintendogs podcast. Everything I'm hearing, and it's all just sort of reiterating, it continues to be the week of February 6th. Over and over again, every little detail I get is basically a week from now we should start hearing about all this stuff. I think it's probably going to be late in the week, so if February 6th is going to come around and we're not going to hear about it and people are going to freak out like there's nothing happening, first of all, I'm not guaranteeing it for that week. I'm just saying that's what everything is sort of pointing to right now. I don't think it's too surprising because they always have one in February or March at the latest. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen pretty soon, and I wouldn't be surprised if all these indicators are exactly right, especially with that stuff shaking loose with Advance Wars 1+2. Some have also pointed to Twitter user Ember on Culture, who claims that a Nintendo Direct is imminent. This person doesn't have much of a track record with games, but apparently has had a number of successful Marvel film leaks. Moving on to Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, one Reddit user who works at Walmart says his location received 3 new cardboard displays for its gaming section, and one of them shows that the Switch title has the words "available now" and documents stating to put it up on February 10th. The store was also given another display for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom featuring the release date. The main takeaway here is that Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp could be launching soon after its latest lengthy delay. So here's my take on all of this. Yes, these could indeed be pointing to the likelihood of a Direct, and whether or not Jeff Grubb has been hearing things from numerous different games, all getting some kind of showcase or presentation or mention that week, and that is why he is thinking that the week of February 6th makes the most sense, or if he is more just pointing to the fact that recently we saw Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom get their eShop IDs updated, signaling that these things will either be available soon or ready for pre-orders at the very least, and that's kind of where his speculation is coming from. I could see it being on either side of the coin. I think if it is just Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp info and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom info, that doesn't necessarily concrete point to a Direct happening as soon as next week. I don't even necessarily think Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp needs to be featured at a Direct again. You may have forgotten because it's been so long, but we have gotten a ton of footage around that game with even a detailed Treehouse presentation, and Nintendo may want to remarket it once again with the unique delay around that, as it's been ready to go for quite some time but has just been purposely held back by Nintendo. I think that game being featured at the Direct itself is really a coin flip, because I could definitely just see them taking to Twitter and doing an updated launch trailer and saying, thank you for your patience. This game is finally going to be available on X date. If we are to believe that Walmart portion of the rumor, that suggests that February 10th is the day that game is going to launch. And if Jeff Grubb is saying later in the week is when we should expect that Direct, and we are to believe that game will be featured at the Direct, well, then that's the day before a late Direct in the week would take place, because they would most likely announce it on Tuesday the 7th or Wednesday the 8th, and then air on a Thursday the 9th, if we are to believe that Direct will be taking place late next week. Now, what you have to remember with all this stuff is to always keep your expectations very much in check until we see Nintendo do that big reveal. Of course, we'll be making a video on it when that happens. We will be celebrating all of the live announcements together when they do hit, but until then, you don't want to set your expectations super high for next week, because clearly we still have plenty of the month left in February. It is also an interesting talking point that we will get Nintendo's most recent updated quarterly briefing results on that same week. And that could absolutely be fueling some of the speculation of the Direct taking place later on a Thursday as opposed to a Tuesday or Wednesday like we often see them land on. And we are really just going to have to pay attention to what Nintendo reveals to us at this event, because if we are to believe a lot of the recent reports that Nintendo may not be positioning themselves with E3 due to a lighter release schedule after Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and there's a big debate about that online. We will probably dive through that in another video in a lot more detail on what that could really mean and the nuances of that statement. But I do think that this will be the big event for the year if we are to skip the summer all the way until September. So strap in for this. There's going to be some safe bet announcements, like, of course, we're going to get another look at the next wave for the Mario Kart DLC Booster Course Pass. Hard to believe, but we are already going to be at wave 4, and we will see it ultimately complete at the end of this year. And there's surefire games like Pikmin 4, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And while I don't think Advance Wars 1+2 has to be at the Direct, it is probably also likely that we will see it there if all of the promotional stuff is lining up for that game to launch next week on February 10th. But I really want to hear from you guys at this point in the video, all your personal thoughts and speculation around this. When do you think, if you just had to go out there and make a blanket prediction, what is the most likely week that we will see Nintendo hold this Direct presentation? Or do you have a more controversial view that we might not get one at all the first part of the year, and not even in February or March, they just skip it all together and ride through until summer or September? I don't see that happening, but there are definitely some people who do hold that opinion. So definitely share your thought process on that. And then the big question I want to hear from you guys on is, what is the most hyped games that you want to see revealed at this event? What wildcard games, whether they're rumored or not, would you like to see show up and steal the show? And do you think that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, with its updated trailer and a new deeper dive into the gameplay, is actually what closes this event? Or do you think Nintendo throws a curveball and we get something new and big that we weren't expecting at all? So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around this topic. Go watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, which is on screen right now. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.